how fun it is to be in this lovely
ecumenical service. So
Ooh, tough crowd, tough crowd. I'm here till Thursday. My name is Che. For those of you who don't know, you might be sacrilegious and knock over Jesus' mother on May Day. What kind of help? Mental help? Totally. You got any advice? Okay, so my name's Che. I'm from Humboldt Park. I've known Tanya since I was a little kid. If we can tighten up a little bit, some of the people with the red flags, that group, the PSL people, getting my levels. This is all very improv. Give it up for yourselves, because it's really nice outside. Every time I hear that, I want to run. Cold, but this is too constricting. Sorry. Intermission.
That looks good.
That's a mic? Holy shit. Wow.
So again, this is Radical Activists. We're doing an ecumenical service before the May 1st rally, which is going to begin at 11 o'clock.
Hi, Lupe. Does anybody like Tupac?
Tupac's alright.
Tupac's still alive, all right. Every corner, every city, there's a place where life's a little easy, little Hennessy, lay back and cool, every hour, cause it's all good. We got stress from the world outside, every wrong done will be alright. Nothing but streets, no clashing, it's just passion. Every ghetto needs a thug. Dear mama, don't cry, your baby boy's doing good. Tell the homies I'm in heaven and they ain't got hood. I seen a show with Marvin Gaye last night. It had me strip drop peppermint schnapps with Jackie Wilson and Sam Cooke. Then some lady named Billie Holiday sang, sitting there kicking it with Malcolm till the day came. Little Natasha should grown. Tell the lady in the liquor store she's forgiven, so come home. Maybe in time you'll understand, only God can save us. With Miles Davis cutting loose, it's a blast. Just picture all the people that you knew in the past that passed on, they in heaven found peace at last. Picture a place where we exist together. There has to be a place better than this in heaven. So right before I sleep, dear God, what I'm asking, remember my face, save me a place in Thug Mansions. Every corner, every city, there's a place where life's a little easy, little Hennessy, lay back and cool every hour, cause it's all good. We got stress on the world outside, every wrong done will be alright. I'ma keep rhythm. Nothing but streets, no clashing, the streets passing. Every ghetto needs a say, I wish I could fly, but I've been robbed of my wings. I said I come from lost set sons with different kind of kings. Out in the open, they never hide in the grass. And when you cross one's path, you feel the still wrath, and that's your ass. Cause bullets shatter brains like glass. To be a drug dealer means to be a survivor. So pick your size wisely, it's the maniacs and Javas. I had to dodge it all, a loser survivor. Cause at 7 in the morning, where you can smell bread, 2 hours later on the corner, there's a gangster who's dead. Where I'm from, I've seen it all. The streets of Washington, Omar, Baba, and Jamal, they brought, they heat the car. They were insane to the membrane, but when you live by the sword, you die by your own game. Sorry, my guitar's acting a little weird because it's cold. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to do something that might... Bad girls. Toot. Hey, oh, my bad. Wrong song. Beep, beep. Shh. No? Nobody?
Me, right here, 80s child.
See? She knows what time it is. Okay. take you bowling if you bumpin' shonin'. This right here is jonin'. You and me is showing. Straight without the chaser. She was making paper, hitting that side scrapers. Ooh, I'd like to take it to her. Excuse me, senorita, but when you by the water, I respect your essence, cause I know your son was daughter. We ain't doing nothing, y'all, we just making knowledge born. She my baby, y'all, she eat up all the kettle corn. I ain't complaining about nothing, cause when it's sick, it's just us getting tripped and off the Netflix. Cause I could take you bowling if you bumpin' shonen. Pony boy stay golden, this right here is swollen. But this is never stolen, this is never olin'. I hit you so hard that I can make your eyes swollen. Are you right for me or am I right for myself? All your problems leave on the shelf, that's called mental health. That's called for the wealth. They sneaking up as the stealth see. Yeah, they wear sneakers, that's why they call it night green. Let me tell you, his story, history. And if you don't understand where you come, then the future's just a mystery. We do it now, and when I'm playing, I'm about to do some solos. Give out a go with super sailing. I could take you bowling if you go and shonin'. This right here is stolen. Pony boys stay golden. I could take you bowling if you bumpin' shonin'. Pony boys stay golden. This right here is golden. Peep it. I ain't done yet. Why? I could take you bowling if you bumpin' shonen. This right here is stolen. Pony boy stay golden. Said I could take you bowling if you bumpin' shonen. Yeah. Love me not in speech and theory, but in deed and truth. Yeah. We burn hotter than fire, and in your dreams it turn to soup. I said it's on fire. They said what? And I replied the roof. Oh shoot. Yeah, for Prada bags and Gucci suits, stick moving shoot, grab the money and loot, never chaser. Yeah, the ghost to get the freaking paper. Never forget where you come from or forget who you are. You a king and your destiny is written in the stars. Ain't the script. Open heart surgery in Kemet. They try to make you forget, but your history was more than shit. I could tell you if you knew about the libraries. I thought you knew. I see in colors and hues, thinking twos like Gemini dudes. 30-22s on the damn avenue. But we more than that, brother, cause ever since we were kids, the foundation is understanding wisdom and knowledge. Yeah, ain't incredible. I'm speaking off the dome freestyle. This is barely legible, but I could take you bowling if you bumpin' shonen. This right here is stolen. Pony boy stay golden. I could take you bowling if you bumpin' shonen. This right here is stolen. Pony boy. Hey, thank y'all for jamming with me. My name's Che Guevara. You can follow me on IG at Louder Che. I do song things and stuff. I'm gonna give it to Tanya now.
Give it up one more time for Che, y'all. He killed that. Let me get that little mic off you. There you go.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
Let me get this little thing off of you. What do you know? All right, y'all. Again, this was Che Guevara. He's part of that noise. I'm gonna wait till that stops. That sounds scary. Okay. All right. That was Che. He's a part of Sunday Sessions. If you're from the Holy Ground families, make some noise. Holy Ground in the Sunday Session space was created by Healthy Hood and a number of other organizations for young people to practice faith in whatever way that they feel comfortable, that makes them feel good. We've been able to grow together, love each other more. We challenge so many of the traditions that no longer serve us. So many of the reasons why, as people of color, we've been hurt by the institution of religion. And we understand how it brings a distaste to our generation. So at Sunday sessions, we welcome everybody. It doesn't matter who you are, what you look like. We say, come as your worst self, because together and only together will we heal. We've been challenging the way capitalism preaches to us what self-care and what mental health looks like. Capitalism will trick us into thinking healing looks like sitting one-on-one with a therapist who doesn't look like you, who doesn't live nowhere near where you live and doesn't understand your circumstances. The best way for us to heal is in community. It's not just in community, but in doing things together for the rest of our community. What better way to celebrate Sunday, to come together in the spirit of all the prophets that have come before us, because there was some way before Jesus and there was a bunch way after Jesus. And we talk about all of them. We don't only read from the Bible, but we read from the Quran, we read from other books. We read from Nelson Mandela, from Malcolm X, all of the prophets that have come after Jesus and before Jesus. We make room so that we can all just explore together what faith is going to look like for our generation. Because it may not look like what it looked like for the last one, and that's okay. Because guess what? We can decide. We can decide, we can redefine, we can reclaim, and that's what we're doing today. What a beautiful way to continue a tradition. May Day is internationally celebrated all over the world. And now we're doing it right here in Chicago. Y'all make some noise for yourselves, man. Make some noise for yourselves. We're starting our May Day off with some spirituality, with some faith. But it's okay because it looks different now, and that's just fine. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask my sister Rosie to come up and sing another song. At Holy Ground, the way we communicate is through culture, through creation, through music. And just because we ain't singing Jesus love songs doesn't mean we're not tapping into the spirit and tapping into the faith. And so right now we're going to have Rosie come up and sing us a song. Everybody give it up for Rosie!
About this.
To bring this back.
I like your outfit, Rosie.
Me too.
Thank you.
I like your hair.
Thank you. Okay, so my name's Rosie. I had a song in mind, but after seeing all the Mexican flags, I decided to change it. This song's called Yo Soy Mexicana, and they call us illegals, but we're actually indigenous to these lands, so here it goes. Yo soy mexicana y con mucho orgullo, amando mi patria me pasó la vida porque es lo más justo. Yo soy mexicana y no me avergonzo, porque no hay nada de que avergonzarme, más bien lo contrario. Yo soy mexicana y con muchos sueños de la luna ir un día y no sola sino con mi pueblo. Yo soy mexicana, corazón abierto. Pensarán que de mí se podrán aprovechar, pero no es cierto. Toda mi gente es sobrevivientes, trabajadores, luchadores. Yo soy mexicana, con muchas hermanas que por causa del machismo sufren y no son muy bien tratadas. Yo soy mexicana, con muchos hermanos que en los campos se la pasan y tampoco son muy bien tratados. Toda mi gente es sobrevivientes, trabajadores, luchadores. Un día mi gente se unirá y llegará a realizar su potencial, su habilidad de progresar sin buscar otro lugar, otra ciudad. Solo sus tierras y su riqueza necesitarán. Yo soy mexicana, padres y inmigrantes, que en la lucha siempre anda, pero frente en alto y para adelante. Yo soy mexicana, con la mejor comida, cocinando ricos tacos, enchiladas, pozole y fajitas. Toda mi gente, sobreviviente, trabajadores, luchadores. Yo soy mexicana. Thank you so much. Give it up one more time for Rosie Valdez. If you don't follow her, make sure you follow her at Rosalba Valdez on all the social platforms. Rosie, can you give me that microphone back when you get a chance? All right, so real quick. At Sunday sessions, we do something called a social location. Again, Sunday session is held every Sunday at Healthy Hood at 10 a.m. And we're redefining and reclaiming what faith and spirituality look like in the lens of liberation, right? And that means we may not practice all of those traditions that maybe the institution of religion has practiced, but we're starting to do our own thing, right? And this social location is one of my favorite parts, because what it's doing is it's making us realize that our trauma is not particular to just ourselves, that our trauma as people of color, as oppressed people, as working class people is a collective experience. And the way that we've been able to learn that is through these social locations, right? We have one person every Sunday who comes up and just tells us their life testimony, what got them to this place. And every time we hear these stories, we realize how similar our stories are, and how now when we interact with each other, we don't allow the systems in place to divide us. Right? We can see the humanity in each other. We can love each other a little bit more because we know people come with a whole story. We know people come with a whole past. And that's so important. And that's really what church was supposed to be anyway. Amen. It was a place for us to come together and support each other and heal together and get through the things. And that's what we're doing on Sundays. We're building a community that we can heal together, and most importantly, we can serve together to the most marginalized of our community and have a sense of understanding and have a sense of grace, because we know that we all come with a story. So before I bring up our social location today, which I'm just super moved that our brother would do a social location in front of all of these people, I'm gonna bring up somebody who's been mentoring us at Sunday session, who's been teaching us what it is to build community, to talk about faith and spirituality in the lens of liberation, to pray on this right before this brother comes up and does his social location, so that all of us can be here in supportive behavior, so we can gas this brother up and make sure he feels loved and appreciated for telling his story. But first, let's bring up student minister Abel Muhammad from the Nation of Islam. Give it up one time for Abel.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, en el nombre de Allah, el benéfico, el misericordioso. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful. By whatever name we call the Creator, all the best and most beautiful names belong to Him.
Amen.
En español decimos Dios. In Arabic we say Allah. In English we say God. Some of our ancient ancestors and the indigenous people may refer to it as the Great Spirit, Grandfather. Others may refer to it as the Supreme Intelligence, but we're speaking about that same reality, trying to use limited words to describe an infinite knowledge and wisdom and power. In that name, I greet you in the greeting words of peace, which we say in the Arabic language, Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be unto you. En español significa que la paz esté con usted. I wanted to just take a moment this morning. I know we've been socially distanced from one another for a couple of years now, but all of those who are on the outside, move in just a little bit closer. Move in just a little bit closer. All of those who are on the perimeter, if you can move just a little bit closer, because what the brother is about to come up and share with you is his personal story. And so we can get closer emotionally, mentally, but also physically to one another. So we're going to ask que todos se pongan un poquito más cerca, o más acérquense un poquito. All of those who are on the perimeter, just come a little bit closer. It's all right. It's all right. Nobody's going to bite you here. We're going to ask the Creator to make sure that none of us get an illness from this place. We're out in the air where we can breathe fresh air. We're no longer confined to spaces where we have to be on Zoom. We're actually in person, seeing one another, feeling one another. And the brother who's going to come up next, I want you to feel him and not be so distant from him, because we've been socially distant from one another. But in truth, this is a real social gathering. A socialist, I'm taught by my teacher, is a group of people gathered together for one common cause. We're gathered together for one common cause, the uniting of families, but that's a principle undergirded by one other principle: justice.
Amen.
We need and we demand justice today.
Right.
I'm here as a Mexican born in the United States of America, but I'm also a black Muslim. I'm also a follower of my teacher, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and I'm here on his behalf to extend his greetings and support to all who are here and all who are marching, because all of us are being deprived of that principle of justice. If we work in this country, we should have justice.
Amen.
If we have children and family in this country, we should have justice, and we shouldn't have to beg for it. We shouldn't have to ask for it. It's a right from our Creator. And we're not here just as migrants, though we have migrated, because if you're a follower of Moses, he migrated with his people.
That's right.
If you're a follower of Jesus, his mother and father migrated with him.
That's right.
If you're a follower of Muhammad, he and his followers had to migrate to flee from political and religious persecution. So all of us who consider ourselves religious, this place should be packed with all who claim to love Jesus, all who claim to love Moses, all who claim to love Muhammad. But it doesn't matter how many of us it is, because it doesn't take big numbers, it takes big hearts. It takes a big spirit where we are filling this park already. It just takes one of us to combat 100 of the opposers, because we are more right and just in our cause. So with that being said, I'm going to offer a brief prayer and then bring up our brother. Nashad with an N. I'm going to bring up our brother Nashad next to give his social location. We're taught to pray with our heads bowed and palms up, but you pray or stand in whatever manner you feel comfortable as I offer this short prayer. I'm going to say it in Arabic, then in English. It's called Al-Fatiha. And you'll have to excuse my voice. Today's the last day of Ramadan. So I haven't had anything to drink since about 5:45 in the morning. And I can't have anything to drink till about 8 o'clock tonight. So if my voice leaves me, owe it to my faith and devotion and discipline, not because I'm trying to be disrespectful and want my voice cracking in front of you. So with that being said, attention prayer. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Master of the day of judgment in which we now live. Thee alone do we worship, and thine aid we seek. Guide us on the right path, the path of those upon whom thou hast bestowed favors, not the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor of those who go astray after they have heard thy teachings. Amen. 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 With that being said, let's welcome our brother. Welcome him with a round of applause. It's nerve-wracking to come before you and tell you their personal story. Our beautiful brother here, Nashad.
Hello, hello. What is up? What is up? I love all of you. I'm gonna sit down because I'm old. Uh, so Tanya asked me, she's like, "Are you comfortable doing a social location in front of all these people?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm very open about my struggles because if no one talks about it, then it will never be talked about, right?" So I'm gonna start. My name is Nishad Panchal. I'm a part of Canvas and Chicago, but more importantly, Canvas and Chicago are a part of me. I want to preface this by saying I'm fine. I wrote this when I was in a very dark place, and it's just something that I've carried with me for a long time, and I hope I can help other people out. So, back in the day, I grew up in a place where I was jumped, beaten, robbed, and over time it stopped hurting. Over time, I picked up on warning signs and I moved differently, but I was still abused at home. Whatever this person did to me, beat me, stabbed me, burned me, it didn't really hurt as much as them coming over to me and telling me that no one would love me the way they did. And those words instilled in my brain that love is pain. And I still hear those words repeating in my head constantly. So, I mean, I don't need it. If someone who was there to raise and love me could hurt me this badly, imagine someone who didn't raise me would do. And that's when I had my first and only real relationship. I was 9 years old, she was 16 or 17, and she would say nice things to me and tell me everything I wanted to hear. She would comfort me, she told me she cared about me. She also instilled in my head that no one would love me like she did. She would make sure that I knew no one would love me. She knew that I was not, she made sure I knew I was nothing without her. And when she left for college, I never saw her again, and I never healed from it. I wrote the song Witches about her, and I performed it, and I broke down after the performance because I hear those lyrics in my head every single day. That's when I realized relationships suck. Being vulnerable sucks. As soon as you're happy, the person that makes you feel that way has full control over you. And I said I would never fall for anyone again. But you know, things change. I can't walk around being sad and numb all the time, right? That's a red flag. So I learned how to hide it. They say 10,000 hours is what it takes to master something. Denzel Washington has definitely mastered his craft, right? Denzel Washington probably has way more than 10,000 hours. And let's say I started 10 years ago, and that's a nice round number. And let's say I was awake 18 hours a day. I have 65,000 hours banked. That's 65,000 hours of acting and lying. 65,000 hours of acting like I'm okay. Acting like I wasn't doing Xanax and alcohol every single night to numb the pain. Acting like I didn't write a note every night in case I didn't wake up. Waking up and deleting those notes so no one else could see them. Acting like when people got super, super close to uncovering the truth, I would just say, bro, it's just a sad boy thing. It's an alternative boy thing. It's the aesthetic. I'm doing it for the aesthetic. I was so good that I managed to lie to myself that I was okay. There was this feeling with every suicide attempt, and it's so vivid in my head. The world is black, there were no thoughts, and there was no pain. It was 1 second of bliss. In my little community, we call it star chasing. Like storm chasing, but instead of chasing chaos and storms, we chase that clarity. We get as close as we possibly can to that clarity, whether it's from drugs, whether it's from doing dangerous events, anything. It's a feeling I would 100% do anything to have again. And if I'm being 100% transparent with you guys, I hate that I have to tell my friends not to commit suicide. I hate that I have 30 messages a day telling them that it's fine, because I know the pain of living. And I know the amazing feeling that clarity is. But what I know more is how valuable a person's light is. The pain sucks, but what sucks more is the door that closes when they disappear forever. Years ago, jokingly, I had my Grammy speech written. Not to be cocky, you know, but I only showed it to my dad. And I'm gonna act out the speech. We'll add 5 minutes to my 65,000 hours. I got a cough, so it's like genuine, so. Hi, thanks for honoring me with this Grammy. I really, really appreciate it. They told me 5 years ago not to off myself. What if you win a Grammy? And you know what? I should have done it. These 5 years weren't worth it. The Grammy wasn't worth it. Having to lie for 5 more years wasn't worth it. Thanks for not letting me do what I want. But hey, at least I got a golden tuba or whatever this is. It's been rewritten since then. That was the first time in my life my dad hugged me. For the first time, my dad said the words, "I love you." And after years of him not being around to show emotion toward me, I'll be honest, it disgusted me. This is the first time I realized that my blood isn't the family I want to be around. It takes something drastic like death to receive the smallest bit of love from my family. So I found a new one. I joined a collective that was overflowing with love. A collective that means the world to me currently. A collective I wish I could spend 24/7 with. They helped me heal the pain I went through. They would always make me say I love you back until it became a habit. They would always yell at me if I didn't hug them correctly, until it became a habit. They would slowly guide me out of my comfort zone. They gave all their best to the worst me. But I wasn't even in the right mindset to accept their love. Or at least it was very hard. Canvas slowed my fall when I hit rock bottom so I could land safely. And then when I regained my balance and I had something to jump off of, Canvas helped me propel upwards. This time was different though. It wasn't just Canvas. I have a whole community of people. It's weird. A lonely kid that used to spend nights alone now has a community. I used to want friends so badly, but instead of friends, I got a family. I'm told a lot that I'm dope. I'm this amazing person. I can change the world. But it's not me as an individual, right? It's a product of what was poured into me. When you order soup and you eat it, you're not like, bro, this soup was great. You're not like, oh, this individual carrot was dope and the rest of the soup is trash. No one says that, unless you're weird. Anyway, what I mean by this is I was blessed to be saved. I was blessed to have the constant support when I was younger. I was interviewed why I wanted to be a professional gamer. And I responded so I'd always have friends to talk to. I wish I could go back in time and give this letter to the old me, saying that it'll all be all right. I really wish he could see me now, and I really wonder if he'd be proud of me. I never know what I mean to people who love me. I'll never understand what the world sees in me. And this is not a depression thing. I genuinely feel like the people I've met love me so much that I can't even fathom it. The world has changed for me. People run up and hug me. The walls I created around me can be let down because I'm solid at my core. People are genuinely happy to see me. I know this was long, so one last little thing before I wrap it up. I asked my friends, what if the people pouring into me get upset that I don't make it? To that I was told, they don't invest in me because they expect something. It's because they love and believe in me. They aren't pulling me towards them. They're pushing me to where I need to go. And the person who told me that no one will love me like they did was right. Because I have a brother that walked outside in the middle of the night every single night to check up on me every night we lived together. I had a sister that's not only my Wingstop buddy, but someone I can be myself with. Someone who we have inside jokes with and I can be comfortable around. Someone who, no matter what, always makes me feel safe. A sister that has captured moments with her camera, but she also creates them. Memories that can't be captured on film because they would never be the same as if they were happening in real time. A sister that supports me so much that honestly, I actually feel like she loves me more than she loves Beyonce. A sister who's not only a model on the runway, but a model of the person I want to become. A brother or a sister that sometimes lets me be myself, who taught me how being myself isn't something that I can be ashamed of. A sister that sucks at making noodles. And I have these new brothers and sisters that I can't wait to know, but I hope you understand that for right now I have to keep a distance because I'm new to this. I want to say I genuinely love you all, and I say this as someone who finally learned the meaning of the word. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you guys. I don't know who to give the mic to now. Oh, okay, cool. I'm just gonna slowly back up. Appreciate it. Appreciate the love, you guys. Thank you, man.
Hey, this brother just saved my life by saying it. Y'all don't even know. Is that right next time?
Hold this. No, you're dead. You're dead. Here.
It'll make them very happy. I'm gonna. Yeah.
Can you pick this up? Yeah, so that we can speak from it.
This one doesn't work.
Okay.
This thing doesn't.
Take it off then.
The other ones.
We're going to ask the speakers, you know who you are, to come here to the side of the stage, please. Y vamos a comenzar esto. Jacobita Cortés, por favor. There you are. Yeah. Hola, muy buenos días a todos. Bienvenidos a esta marcha del 1 de mayo. Estamos todos animados, con mucha energía para marchar por nuestro pueblo. Okay, vamos a comenzar esta marcha, como siempre, con una oración. Y yo voy a hacer la oración en español y la pastora Emma me va a traducir o va a hacer una breve en inglés para los que no entienden español. Pero Dios sí entiende todos nuestros idiomas, o para Él no tenemos que traducir nada, porque Él conoce nuestros corazones, Él conoce nuestros idiomas. Padre amado y misericordioso, te pedimos que tú estás con cada uno de nosotros hoy, esta mañana, marchando para tu pueblo, Señor. Que este mensaje, Padre amado, llegue, mueva los corazones de estos políticos, Señor. Que necesitamos esa legalización para sacar de las sombras a nuestro pueblo. También te damos gracias, Señor, por todas esas muestras de fe que tú nos das, Señor, en tiempos difíciles, que tú siempre estás con nosotros. Quiero reconocer esta mañana a nuestra hermana Sophie, a nuestra hermana Alicia, que están aquí entre nosotros para marchar. Hoy nuestra hermana Sophie me recuerda a una hermana querida que ya partió, Irma Romero, que llegaba en su silla de ruedas, no importando la distancia, no importando el clima. Ella estaba aquí enfrente de la marcha. Hoy tenemos a nuestra hermana Sophie. Gracias, Padre amado y misericordioso, por este día maravilloso en que tú nos vas a guiar en esta marcha. Tú vas a estar frente de esta marcha, Señor. Aquí no hay ningún líder más grande que tú, Señor. Sabemos que tú eres quien va a ir dirigiendo esta marcha, Señor. Te pedimos para todos los oradores, para todos que van a hacer su speech, Señor, para todos que van a dar su testimonio, Señor. Te pedimos que sean tus palabras en ellos, solamente úsalos como instrumento para que puedan llevar este mensaje a esos poderosos que van a hacer la diferencia, Señor. Te pedimos todo esto en el nombre del Padre, del Hijo y del Espíritu Santo, y todos decimos amén, 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 gloria a Dios. Heavenly Creator, we give you thanks for this day. We ask you to fill us with the Holy Spirit so that we have the courage to be your soldiers and fight for justice. Today is May Day, Lord. May Day is the day of the worker. This is when we lift up all the workers, the 99%. We ask you to bless each and every one of us so that we have the courage to raise up those that are marginalized, to fight for justice, because the only thing that divides us in this country is inequality. And Lord, give us that justice, give us that water of justice that we so much need, Lord, because we're thirsty for your justice as we march today, May Day. Thank you, Lord. Amen.
Chicago, make some noise! Hello, my name is Saúl Arellano. Buenas tardes para todos. Today we're here for May Day, para el 1 de mayo, for the workers' rights. I want to welcome everyone to this May Day celebration because it is the time that we unite as a people. One thing that we know, it is wonderful to be around each other once again because the pandemic did not allow for us to be together. But today, we are able to gather and to speak and to fight for our rights. Our communities have been under attack by deportations for decades, and for the last 2 years, we have been attacked by this pandemic. Our immigrant families were the frontline workers that kept this economy going. A lot of them lost their lives. A lot of them did everything for this country, and it is today the reason why we stand alongside them, and we stand ready to fight for their rights. For many, they were not able to see their parents in their countries of origin. They were not able to see their deceasing parents, and it is why we fight. So they're able to be back with them, so they are able to go back to see all of their families. And that is why we fight today. We have suffered, but we are determined to get our justice and to take our rightful place in this country. I am the U.S. citizen son of the immigration activist Elvira Arellano, who has fought since 2006 when she took sanctuary, and she has fought until now. They deported her in 2008, but today we stand here united as a family, letting you know that if you fight, if you keep doing this, we will receive justice. But unfortunately, we need to understand that myself and the rest of our communities are still under attack, and that we still need to keep fighting for them, and we still need to keep fighting for each other. We have the right to live here without fear that our loved ones will not be separated from us. So one last thing I do want to say is if there is no relief, if there is no legalization, then there will be no re-election. Do yours, because I'm a little going off.
How are you guys feeling today? All right, so I'm gonna have one of my good friends, Christina, back up and talk to you guys real quick. So please make some noise for Christina.
Hi everybody, how you guys feeling today? I'm a little chilly, so I gotta loosen up a little bit. So Christina Baca, and I'm also here today to represent the dreamers of the United States. I'm from Canvas. I'm with Healthy Hood. I was brought here when I was 4 years old by my mother, and I developed all of the culture. I went to school here, I learned their language, and now that President Biden is in office, I'm no longer protected by the DACA anything. I can't even reapply, I can't do any of that. But today, I'm here to speak on behalf of my mother, because my mother brought me to this country 20 years ago, and she's been working at the same factory for 20 years, and they never have given her a raise. They have never given her any chance to retire. So now my mom is 70 years old, still working every single day for this country, and they're not even taking care of her. So I want you guys all to know that together, look around, look how many different colors there are here. Look how many ages there are here. If we continue to teach each other and continue to teach our children, build your own businesses, build your own organizations, because they're not gonna take care of us. And President Biden, Senator Durbin, the Democratic Party, they're gonna sit here and promise every single day something new, and they're not going to deliver. So what we have to do is create our own structures, our own systems, our own businesses, so that we can take care of our own people, and we don't need nobody to take care of us. So on behalf of the dreamers, take care of your people and educate your people so that we don't have to look on nobody to do nothing.
Hello? So, next up will be our next speaker, She is a very strong woman and a woman who inspires me every day and who I am glad to call my mother. Elvira Arellano.
Muy buenos días. Mi nombre es Elvira Arellano. Hoy, 1 de mayo, se conmemora el Día Internacional del Trabajo. Los mártires de Chicago, George Angel, Adolf Fischer, Albert Parson, August Vincent Theodore Spide. Las condenas fueron ejecutadas en la horca el 11 de noviembre de 1887. Spide grita: la voz que vais a sofocar será más poderosa en el futuro que cuantas palabras pudiera yo decir ahora. Los sucesos de Chicago costaron la vida de muchos trabajadores y dirigentes sindicales. A finales de 1886, varios sectores patronales accedieron a otorgar la jornada de 8 horas. Una gran victoria para todos los trabajadores que hasta nuestros días seguimos beneficiándonos de esa lucha y sacrificio. 1 de mayo es un día para conmemorar a los mártires de Chicago y todos aquellos que han luchado antes que nosotros. Rudy Lozano, Irma Romero, Katy Archibald, que su lucha y sacrificio no sea en vano. Hoy estamos aquí para reivindicar nuestra lucha, no solamente por mejorar nuestros salarios y beneficios laborales, sino también para seguir luchando y lograr salir de las sombras. Aquí estamos, somos trabajadores esenciales, somos los nuevos ahorcados, los que nos ahorcan los altos precios de la gasolina, los altos costos de la canasta básica, los altos costos de la renta. Somos los invisibles, los que no nos quieren ver para darnos papeles para vivir en libertad. Vivimos atrapados en las políticas antiinmigrantes. Los políticos republicanos y demócratas usan a nuestras familias como piñata en tiempos de elecciones. Los políticos quieren los votos de nuestros hijos, que ahora sí pueden votar, pero sus padres siguen siendo criminalizados, deportados y separados de sus familias. Aquí estamos para decir: ya basta. El jueves pasado, nuevamente a través de los medios de comunicación, nos enteramos que un grupo de senadores liderados por el segundo senador más poderoso, senador Dick Durbin de aquí de Illinois, Alex Padilla, John Cornyn y Tom Tillis, debatirán sobre la posibilidad de avanzar en un tema que permanece estancado desde el 18 de marzo del año pasado. Se pretende buscar una solución para beneficiarios de DACA, TPS, trabajadores agrícolas y trabajadores esenciales. Y nos preguntamos, ¿y nosotros dónde quedamos? Todos somos trabajadores esenciales y por lo tanto debemos luchar para ser incluidos. Hoy marchamos, mañana no trabajamos. Vamos a la huelga laboral por la reforma migratoria. No sabemos si nos quedamos, no sabemos si nos vamos, pero por lo pronto luchamos. Los migrantes no somos criminales, somos trabajadores internacionales. ¡Viva la lucha!
All right, so we got a really jam-packed schedule, so we're going to try and get through every speaker, but please make some noise. You guys made it all the way out here. I know it's a little chilly, but we still here, all right? So I'm going to introduce our next person, our next speaker. So our next speaker is Mahalia and her mom, Ceci. So please give it up for Mahalia and Ceci.
Hello, my name is Mahalia Velasco. It's time to wake up. Deportation and separation of families have been going on for years. My father was deported over 11 years ago, and I just found out that I can't apply for his papers until 20 years for him to possibly be allowed to come back. That is not right. I should be able to have my father here now.
don't deserve to be tortured. We deserve to be treated as human beings. America was built on Mexico. Us Hispanics, we built America. We are America. This is how it stands today because of us. They should be heard. We should be heard. We should not be standing here today to be asked to be treated like human beings. I should not be standing here today to ask for my own father back. We should be having our families now. I should be listened to now. Yeah. Joe Biden, please fulfill the promise that you made with Obama. Fulfill the promise that you made for the people. Listen to us. We will not be silent anymore. Thank you.
Woo! Hello, everybody! Can I hear everybody make some noise? Woo! So piggyback from my daughter. Yes, my husband was taken away from us driving while brown. He had an expired plate, and I became a mom and dad overnight. He has now a 20-year bar. That means he cannot apply till 20 years. I'll be 65 years old for a possible re-entry. I am tired of seeing our people turn pale as soon as they hear the price. I am tired of the finger pointing from the Senate to the House. I blame you all due to these egregious laws that not only cause psychological terror, but have taken the lives of our loved ones. In loving memory of Mr. Tello and Silas in Norway, who died of suicide for fear of family separation. You had blood on your hands, Mr. President. This is racially motivated. When you see the open arms of people welcoming Ukrainian refugees and then watch images going around at the border of the CBP patrol on horseback, rounding up refugees from Haiti as if they were a herd of cattle. Mr. President, escucha, listen, enough, ya basta, take charge. Put your house in order. Use your power to write an executive power order and protect the sanctity of our mixed status families who live in the shadows. Allow the deported to reunite with their families here in the United States. Every human right to family. And I also ask for a special request to pardon my husband, Hugo Velasco, who needs to be here with his family. And what do we want? And when do we want it? And what do we want? And when do we want it? If we don't get it, if we don't get it, if we don't get it, thank you.
Oh, so for our next act, in order to get the blood flowing a little bit, we are going to present to you one of our favorite local singers and also an activist, Rosalba Valdez.
We love you. Someone's gonna get fired. No sound. What I'm talking about. They're trying to keep us down. No sound yet. Horse manure.
¡Que canta el bombero!
Aquí está la catracha. Bologna sandwich.
Mándale saludos a la catracha en Cícero.
La catracha de Cícero. Muchos saludos aquí con mi más famoso de... Ay, no. ¿Famoso de dónde? Where are you famous? Sorry, I got
Estamos esperando a una
And no sound yet. No sound.
algún pequeño problema de sonido, pero ya están tratando para la niña, siempre anda en la...
You did a bullhorn? Bullhorn maybe? You did a bullhorn? So you can...
Ahorita pues problemas de sonido. Ahorita hay problemas de sonido, pero ya
Oh, sorry.
Check, check. Testing, hello. I'll do this experience. Ahí va una canción que se llama Lucha de Familias. Esto es un corrido, so please move side to side with me. A este país llegué a los 6 años, a mis padres no podía pararlos, a buscar el sueño americano, y a ese sueño se llega nadando. En California encontramos trabajo, y en los campos hicimos encajo. Yo llegué a los 16 años, 15 de junio y había pasado. Fue en el año de 2007, muy tarde para la acción del presidente. Como quisiera regresar el tiempo, para haber llegado un mes más temprano. Con papeles, también sin papeles, en sus ojos solo mexicanos. No se duerman allá en sus laureles, ahora es tiempo de organizarnos. Lucha para nuestras familias y justicia para el ser humano. Oh, I've got family and loved ones all over, living life looking over their shoulders, working hard to provide for their families, shining in the shadows where they're standing. They try to put us in all categories, but we all share a similar story. Con papeles, también sin papeles, en sus ojos solo mexicanos. Se duerman allá en sus laureles, ahora es tiempo de organizarnos en la lucha para las familias y justicia para el ser humano. Thank you so much. Yeah, play the guitar. The guitar. Thank you, everyone.
All right, so we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're back in it. We got another speaker. Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm going to introduce our next speaker. We're going to keep this ball rolling. Please give it up for Andy Fair.
Happy May Day 2022. In 1886, Chicago police murdered, shot dead 5 strikers outside of the McCormick Reaper plant. A couple days later, Chicago police rioted, killing more. How very 19th, 20th, and 21st century. Now, you fast forward to the present, and you have to remember that back in 1886, 3/4 of Chicagoans were immigrants or sons or daughters of immigrants. This is a city built on immigrant labor, sweat, and blood. And yet here we are in 2022 with families being separated. Now, back in 1886, it was a strike not just for the 8-hour day, it was for dignity, for immigrant labor, to deal with the oppressive conditions they faced, not just the exploitation. And we move forward to 2022, and we're facing many of the same issues. This year, the Supreme Court is threatening to overturn legal abortion. And in its wake, they're threatening to take away LGBTQ rights. They're threatening, the politicians are, to throw immigrants under the bus. And I'm talking about the Democrats here. And they're waging war abroad, not just in Iraq, but also in Ukraine, as the military budget goes further up and up, regardless of Democratic or Republican administrations. Now, many of us, we're wearing green today because this is the international solidarity symbol of the abortion rights movement. As we've seen our Latin American sisters and brothers in places like Colombia and Argentina and Mexico move forward for people's rights at the same time the United States is threatening to go backwards in just a few months. Many of you have probably seen flyers that we've been putting out on the day that the U.S. Supreme Court rules on abortion. We need to be in the streets because that's the way that rights have always been won. So at 5:30 p.m. on the day that the U.S. Supreme Court rules on abortion rights, meet us at Federal Plaza, and we will be in the streets to demand our rights because that's the only way we've ever won them. Whether it was for Laquan McDonald, whether it was for the Haymarket martyrs, we have always won our rights in the street, not with the politicians. Happy May Day, everyone.
Make some noise! So next up, I'm going to have 2 speakers for you so we can get going because I know we're ready to march. We're getting pumped up. And then next it will be Baltasar Enriquez from Little Village Community Council. And we will have Mr. Odom from the Black Lives Matter.
Happy May Day, everyone. I'm here. My name is Charles Odom. I'm the chairman of the Union Stand Slums. And this is Ifeanyi Odom. He's the president of the Union Stand Slums. The way me and Mr. Baltasar Enriquez got together was when the Adam Toledo shooting. I went over there just as a concerned parent, me and my son, and we went to the funeral. And I saw the need for the black and brown community to really get together. So I discussed it with Mr. Enriquez here, and he said, yes, he also saw the same thing. So we've been meeting. We did a bingo together in the Lawndale.
My organization's in North Lawndale. We did a bingo together, and it came off real good. And I don't know why we're divided. And this
education and the proliferation of educational sweatshops, charter schools, and we won against that movement. But you know what? We did not only fight for bread and butter issues for our members, but for the racial, social, and economic justice for our students, their families, and communities. 90% of our students are Latinx and Black and from working class families. When workers unite, organize, and fight, we win. What did we win in 2019 strike? We now will have a nurse and social worker in every school every day at the end of the contract. Okay. All right. I have to end, but y'all know what we've won and fought for in CTU and our communities. Thank you. We'll see you at Federal Plaza.
All right, thank you so much. All right, we're gonna keep the ball rolling. All right, so next speaker I want to introduce is Marcelo. Please give it up for Marcelo, everybody.
Hello to everybody. I'm from Italy. I represent FIOM CGL, the largest metal worker Italian union. And we want to greet you and embrace you in support of all your struggles that are also ours. And we know the importance of your struggle about immigration, the right of the workers, and excluding the creepy history of slavery and deportation from Africa. America has always been a land of immigration. Millions of workers came here from Europe, from all over the world, to win the bread. And they found themselves fighting for the roses too, and gaining dignity. And this is very a message important that we give you. And with their struggles, with their hard work, immigrants contributed to build up huger trade unions and also a richer, a better, and a more welcoming nation in America. But not enough. Not enough, because today 12 million of immigrants workers in US are illegal. And we are struggling with you to make them have their rights. And we want together, we're struggling together for the fact that undocumented worker can have their rights and they be reunited with their families. And this is very important, a message of great solidarity that I want to give you, because in Europe, in Italy, we have the same problem. Immigrants have the same problem as here. And for me, it's very important to be here on May Day in Chicago, because the symbol of the May 1st is an international struggle for the workers to have equal rights. And without rights, workers are blackmailed, workers are exploited, and we have to struggle together to not allow that worker not allow that workers compete against each other. So, happy May Day to you, and let's struggle together. So when I say CISA, you say puede, CISA, CISA. All right. We're getting closer to the end. I want to present to you Leo Hadadin from Free Palestine Movement.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Hi everyone, my name is Laura and I'm a member of the Chicago chapter of the U.S. Palestinian Community Network. Just like Republicans, Democrats have failed to protect our communities. We're seeing an increased level of violence on all fronts. Families are still being separated at the border. Deportations are still happening in mass. Children are still being put in cages. And police brutality against Black and brown communities is escalating. Biden has turned his back on all of his campaign promises, putting millions of dollars into policing and militarization. Meanwhile, this pandemic rages on, killing and harming primarily Black, brown, and immigrant communities. The rich are actively profiting off of the death of the working class. Our struggles extend beyond borders. Not only does the U.S. criminalize and terrorize our people in the U.S. every day, but they use our taxpayer dollars to fund the criminalization of and violence against our communities back home. Billions are funneled into the apartheid state Israel every single year. And what does Israel do with that money? They shoot Palestinian journalists, they arrest Palestinian children, and they increase violence against both Muslim and Christian Palestinians on holy holidays like Ramadan and Easter. The U.S. supports and funnels money into Israel because it's a white supremacist, settler colonialist state with the goal of ethnically cleansing Palestinians. The U.S. funnels money into policing as a way to fund state-sanctioned violence against Black and brown people in mass. The money the U.S. puts into both Israel and policing helps maintain overarching themes of violence and terror, upholding racist, white supremacist, imperialist values that put a boot to the neck of Black and brown working class people here and in Palestine. The majority of Palestinians targeted by Israel are farmers, peasants, and other workers. So the issue of Palestine is also a workers' rights and labor issue. The United States has a moral and ethical obligation to stop funding the deaths of working class people in Palestine and all over the world. Thank you.
All right, so we're gonna keep it moving. Next, I want to introduce Sarah Chang from Socialist Alternative.
Everybody, hey, ho, ho, build the movement to a G-Fed row, hey, ho, ho, build the movement to a G-Fed row. Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Chang and I'm a member of Socialist Alternative and a nursing student at UIC. I want to thank y'all for coming out today. Honored to join a group of speakers defending immigration rights, workers' rights, fighting back against the right-wing attacks on abortion and LGBTQ rights. Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Sarah Chang. Soy miembro de Socialist Alternative y estudiante de enfermería en la UIC. Quiero agradecerles a todos por venir hoy. Abortion rights, access to comprehensive health care, and trans rights and LGBTQ rights are under direct attack right now. El derecho al aborto, el acceso a atención médica integral y los derechos trans y LGBTQ están bajo ataque directo en este momento. Sorry. While the state of Illinois has legalized abortion, it's not an impossibility that we could lose access to this care in the future. Instead, now is the time for us to stand up in solidarity with working people and youth from Indiana to Missouri to Texas to build a movement from coast to coast to defend abortion rights. Si bien el estado de Illinois ha legalizado el aborto, no es imposible que perdamos el acceso a este procedimiento en el futuro. Este es el momento de solidarizarnos con los trabajadores y jóvenes de Indiana, Missouri a Texas para construir un movimiento de costa a costa para defender el derecho al aborto. I don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to skip right to it. 14 seconds. Okay. Let today be the building block for this movement. We got to fight for this movement because Roe was won because of a movement. So join us today. We'll be marching with a contingent for abortion rights. If you're interested in mass movement building to fight for these rights, join us with Socialist Alternative. We've got a table right over there. We're all around clipboarding, and we'll see you out in the streets. Solidarity, solidaridad.
Thank you. All right, next, let's keep it moving. All right, so next I want to introduce our next speaker. This is Nation Garza. Please give it up.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nation Garza. I'm proud to be here representing One Fair Wage and our coalition partners, Women Employed. How many people here fought for $15 an hour in the state of Illinois? Raise your hand. Well, I'm so proud that you're out here, and I'm so proud of what you accomplished, but I want to tell you that you left some of us behind. If you are a bartender, if you are a waiter, if you are a nail salon worker, if you make tips in the state of Illinois, your minimum wage is not $15 an hour. Your minimum wage is $7.20. We are One Fair Wage. We are trying to raise the minimum wage to $15 for everybody. And I'm not saying it's enough. I'm not saying it's sufficient, but God damn it if it isn't a start. It is double what we are making right now. Tips plummeted during COVID. So many people in the industry, I bet many of you here have worked in the industry. You know people who lost their jobs, whose restaurants closed, or people who stayed but lost their tips. People stopped coming in to eat. People started taking food to go. And even as restaurants have begun opening back up, tips have not risen to what they were pre-pandemic. We need One Fair Wage. If you want your favorite restaurants to open back up, if you want places to stop being understaffed, then you need to pay us $15 an hour at least with tips on top. So I ask all of you, please support One Fair Wage, support our fight, support our partners, Women Employed, as we fight for $15 an hour for all tipped workers. And I want to leave on this. There's so many wonderful organizations here representing so many different walks of life. 70% of tipped workers are women, and another large percentage are people of color, especially Latinos like myself. We are taken advantage of at disproportionate levels. And one of the best things that we can do to gain our respect, to fight sexual harassment in the workplace, to fight discrimination, is to pass One Fair Wage. So all of you, I encourage you, please support House Bill 5139. Call your state representatives, call your state senators, ask them to hop on board with this wonderful bill, HB 5139, and support us and join us at One Fair Wage and Women Employed. Thank you so much.
All right. Let's make some noise! Okay, so next up we have Dr. Jesus Estrada from the Cook County Teachers Union and the League of Revolutionaries and the Response Network. Let's make some noise for her!
All right, thank you so much. If you leave with any thought today, it is this. We know we are essential to ourselves, to our communities, to our families, and to other workers. But to the capitalists, we're expendable. Your kids are expendable. Workers are expendable. And the undocumented and refugees don't even count in this economic system. For example, in the city colleges of Chicago, where I'm a union steward, part-time workers and full-time workers are under attack. They test weekly for COVID at North Shore, which is a private company. And because the system is so broken and they don't report tests accurately, my employees are being punished. They're being suspended without pay for weeks. Then they go to a pre-disciplinary hearing and they're suspended again. Imagine not having a check in Chicago for over a month. This behavior is fucking criminal, and it infuriates me to the core. Plus, instead of hiring private companies, why don't they hire healthcare students? Why don't they hire community members? Why don't they give work studies jobs so they can trace who tests or not? This is bullshit. Now I have two CPS kids. This is my son Antonio, my daughter who didn't want to come on stage, Simona. And let me tell you what's happening in CPS. It is criminal. They're cutting hundreds of thousands of dollars from the poorest black and brown schools. Think about that. They're already hurting from COVID. And this is patent bullshit because they had over $4 billion of COVID funds. They're getting almost $2 billion in federal funds. Why aren't our black and brown kids spending priority? Why don't they have counselors? Why don't they have books? It's terrible. Thank you. Why don't they have cleaning supplies? Thank you, sister. Now, I'm a first generation Chicana. Whoa, little comrade. What? I'm done? All right. Look, we can only win this together if we fight together. Let's make a difference. Sorry.
When I say sí se, you say puede. Oh, wait. When I say sí se, you say puede. Sí se. Sí se. Okay, so we're getting to the closing to the end so we can start marching. Right now, I am going to invite to the stage Juana Montoya, Melissa, Oki Octavino from Mujeres Latinas en Acción and ITRR. Here's the floor for them.
Buenos días a todos. Buenos días. Jamás serán vencidas. Buenos días a todos. ¿Cómo estamos? ¡Ese ánimo! ¿Cómo estamos? Mi nombre es Juana Montoya, líder de Mujeres Latinas en Acción y miembro de la coalición de Illinois por los derechos de los inmigrantes y refugiados. ¡Feliz Día de Mayo!
Hello everybody, my name is Juana Montoya, leader with Mujeres Latinas en Acción and member of the Illinois Coalition for Immigrant and Refugee Rights. Happy May Day!
Nos sentimos muy honrados y solidarizados con todos los trabajadores de Chicago, ciudad donde se originó el Día Internacional de los Trabajadores en 1886.
We're honored to stand in solidarity with all workers today in Chicago, the city where the International Workers' Day originated in 1886.
El 1 de mayo es un momento tanto como para celebrar a los trabajadores como para llamado un colectivo a la acción.
May Day is a time to both celebrate workers and for a collective call to action.
El año pasado, el movimiento de los derechos de los inmigrantes y aliados estábamos en una feroz batalla para ganar un camino a la ciudadanía a 11 millones de trabajadores inmigrantes indocumentados.
Last year, the immigrant rights movement and its allies were in a fierce battle to win a pathway to citizenship for millions of immigrant workers and their families.
Los demócratas prometieron cumplir durante las elecciones, pero hoy no hemos visto, el Congreso no ha cumplido nada ha cumplido.
The Democrats promised to deliver throughout the election, yet today we have seen Congress deliver nothing.
Estoy enojada, sí, estoy enojada. Estamos enojados, ¿cómo estamos? ¿Cómo estamos? ¿Cómo estamos? Pero este enojo nos impulsa a seguir luchando para la ciudadanía plena para todos juntos y cada uno de ustedes, cada uno de todos ustedes.
I am angry, but this anger fuels us to keep fighting for full citizenship for all, alongside each and every one of you.
Para mí es muy importante este día, porque yo tengo más de 20 años de vivir en este país sin tener las mismas oportunidades que todas las demás personas.
For me, it is very important to be here this day, because I have lived here in this country for more than 20 years without having the same opportunities that other people have.
También tuve que emigrar a este país como alguno de todos ustedes, porque no podíamos estar en nuestros países por la violencia, que no nos sentíamos seguros como hoy para proteger a nuestros hijos y nuestras familias.
Also, because I had to emigrate to this country like some of you because they could no longer be in their countries because of the violence, and they did not feel safe like me to protect my children and my family.
Nos cortaron las alas en nuestros lugares de origen, pero hoy, este día, nosotros cada vez somos más fuertes, unidos, y podemos salir adelante todos juntos.
They cut our wings in our places of origin, but today we are becoming stronger and united. We can get ahead.
Por eso, todos los afectados necesitamos el apoyo del presidente Joe Biden, que cumpla con las promesas a los inmigrantes y usar el poder para que previene alivio de los 11 millones de indocumentados en el Congreso fracasó. Pero Biden puede hacerlo, que nos tiene que escuchar, porque también nosotros somos importantes y tenemos los mismos derechos que todos. El Congreso fracasó, pero Biden puede hacerlo, y para tener las mismas oportunidades y beneficios y que podamos salir a trabajar sin problemas y sin miedo y traer el sustento a nuestras casas.
On behalf of ICER, it's an honor to stand alongside each and every one of you.
Well. Gracias, y sí se puede.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Octaviano, llevo 23 años viviendo en este país. Soy casado y tengo 4 hijos. Sus edades son 14, 11, 6 y 2 años. Quiero compartir algo que me sucedió hace unos años. Esto me sucedió cuando las personas indocumentadas como yo no podíamos obtener una licencia de conducir. La policía me arrestó por DUI y fui arrestado y llevado a la cárcel de la Pintesia, California. Ahí duré un mes encerrado y llegó una persona de inmigración preguntando por mi seguro social. Fui preso por un mes, pues ustedes me han comentado, inmigración llegó por mí, fui llevado a un centro de inmigración aquí en Chicago. Me tuvieron 2 horas después de firmar unos documentos. Lo primero que pensé que iba a ser deportado ese día, pero no fue así. Fui puesto en libertad y me dieron la oportunidad de pelear mi caso en corte frente a un juez. Ese día, y gracias a Dios por esta oportunidad. Y que porque pude llegar con mi esposa y mi hija, quien es ahora la mayor, pasaron los años y tuvimos otros 3 hijos. Mi hijo menor de 2 años nació prematuro y tiene retrasos en su desarrollo. Recibe terapias en casa como terapia física, ocupacional y del habla, 4 veces a la semana. Por esta razón mi esposa trabaja y ella cuida de nuestros hijos. Puede estar en casa para que el menor reciba sus terapias. que ocupa. Yo soy el único que trabaja para tener comida y techo donde vivir. Deseo lo más grande poder quedarme en este país junto a mi familia para seguir sacando a mis hijos adelante. Si soy deportado, mi esposo tendría que trabajar para poder darle techo y comida a nuestros hijos, y eso significa que tendría que descuidar de ellos. Creo que si eso pasa, solo les faltaría un padre, sino también una madre, y yo solo porque ella tendría que proveer para pagar a otra persona que cuide de nuestros hijos. También significa que mi hijo de 2 años no podrá recibir todas sus terapias necesarias para su desarrollo, y espero poder tener su apoyo con sus firmas para así seguir peleando mi caso, y doy gracias a Dios por la organización OCAT por este apoyo. Gracias.
Hey everybody, my name is Karina from OCAD. I'm here with Octaviano, who's been here for 23 years. We're trying to stop his deportation. We're going to be collecting signatures. If the people collecting signatures can put the clipboard up. He's been fighting his case for 12 years now, and yeah, we need to stop his deportation, so help us with your signatures, please.
Hold on.
Neither shall they thirst anymore. Preach, preacher, for God shall wipe away, yes sir, every tear from their eye. Yes sir, get ready for the revolution.